Hey everybody, this is Apollo Trades. I just wanted to recap on the week and I wanted to get on here and kind of journal my thoughts. I want to journal everything that's kind of going on in my life and sit myself in front of this camera and talk naturally, completely raw, nothing scripted, nothing pre-planned, nothing. In regards to my trading week, I have seen crazy results. I'm 2 days away from a payout with my funded futures. Two more winning days, that is, and I'm at a loss for words, honestly. I mean, this process has been crazy. I started last year, August, took a break in April of this year, came back end of July, and it's the 24th in August, and I'm already close to a payout. It's crazy when I think about it, really. I understand more and more that I got to keep God in my plans, and I have to consistently pray and accept His grace, because it's a gift. And the more I understood that, the more it allowed me to trade not fearfully, not greedy, not with anxiety or stress. And when I'm in that type of zone, then it's easy for opportunities to show themselves and kind of come to you. So understand that. Understand that it's not your timing. It just isn't. And that sucks. As much as we want things to happen as quick as they can, as much as we want things to come to us, it's not in your timing, bro. It's in His. And the moment I let go and I stop putting dates on my life and stop putting expectations upon myself of I need to have this by then, or I need to have this certain goal met by this time, things started happening. It's crazy to think. Of course, have goals. Have the end in mind where you want things to happen, right? But understand at a core level that the only thing that's going to get you closer to those goals is consistency and alignment. Not only with the Lord, but with yourself, with your work, with your effort you're putting in. You're not grinding. Let's get that out of the window. Let's get that idea out of here. You're not grinding. Let's just stop. Because grinding implies that there's friction, right? And if there is friction, that's fine, right? You want to work through it. But when I think of my goals and what I want to accomplish, I want 10K in payouts before the end of the year, right? That's one of the goals I have. And I stopped thinking in terms of waking up every day, back testing, working out my model. If I wasn't able to trade for the day, what was there available to me? I stopped saying I'm grinding. I stopped saying I'm working to get myself to this place. Because that inherently puts space in between your goal and you. But when you meet in the middle and you say that you're aligning yourself, that's a powerful statement. That implies that you and your goals are one. They're not separate. They're not, if you want to be a profitable trader, everybody says you have to act like one and think like one, and then you just are. That's just how it is, right? You don't necessarily wake up and say, oh, I want to grind today to be a profitable trader. I have to grind today to get in God's word or put myself in the position to be able to talk with Him daily, right? You don't say that. That's not the correct terminology. You need to think in terms of alignment. And that's kind of the fruit for thought for today, is align yourself with your goals, your ambitions, your ideas. right? When you think of something that you want so deeply and passionately, you don't go about that thinking, I need to grind to get to this goal, or I need to put myself in XYZ position, right? When you think of it in terms of alignment, that very statement of putting yourself in position to do that is true, but only under the concept that you're putting yourself together as one with what you want. It's that simple. That's it. It wasn't until I started trying to align myself with my goals that I started to see success. And no, I am not a profitable trader yet. Matter of fact, I think during my whole futures endeavor, I'm about $2,600 in the hole right now, which isn't even that bad. Let's get that out of the way. That's not even that bad. I've seen a lot worse situations of people, right? But then again, you can't compare. Everybody's on a different journey with this. Everybody's going to be in a different position of life where they're going to have to go through psychological battles and things that you may never have to deal with because you've already conquered it. And that's okay. That is okay, right? When you think of, okay, how do I pull consistent results from the market? Or how do I put myself in that position to be that person? You align yourself. You stop thinking in ways that separate yourself from money, relationships, trading, all of it, right? You start to think in your mind, how do I become the man that has these things? How can I act today that puts myself in the space of I am that, right? I am a profitable trader. I am a person who has godly relationships. I am a person who wants to provide, give, right? It's a different way of thinking. Because if you continue to tell yourself that you are the person that is lazy, you have no drive, right? Something I'm trying to work on is my diet. And I'm overweight right now. And it hurts me deeply to think that I've done this to myself. But at the end of the day, no change is going to take place until I start to realign my values and my perspective of who I am, right? If I go out and I want to eat some really bad food, right, that I know is not good for me and I know it's going to cause me mental fog, I need to tell myself I am a healthy person. I am somebody who does not eat that. That is my identity. In the book Atomic Habits, James Clear goes over this idea that, you are who your identity is. And not until you shift who you are in your identity, you're not going to see change. Because change happens from the inward to outward, not the reverse. It just doesn't. Unless you are in some extreme environment where things are taking place that is out of your control, in the day-to-day life of a normal person, you are not going to see change unless this changes. And this changes. You're not going to see it. It just doesn't exist. If you continue to think like how I thought in January, where I saw trades happening all around me, right? I started seeing profitable setups and things that people were capitalizing on. And I used to wake up in the morning and tell myself, I can't wait to just lose again this morning. I can't wait to feel that emotional pain and discomfort that comes with it. And you're already putting yourself in that position to experience it, because the words we speak have power. God gave us this power to manifest things in our life, to do things that some other people would consider impossible. But at the end of the day, it's only impossible until somebody makes it possible. And you have to do that for yourself. Whether it's trading, relationships, anything. You have to come into yourself with the identity of, I am that very thing I want. I may not have it in the physical right now, but I already am telling myself this next week I'm going to get a payout. Now let me be very clear and say, I am saying that, but I am not waking up every day going to the charts with the expectation that the market has to give me that very thing. Because it doesn't. Trading is a zero-sum game. It does not owe you anything. The market does not know if you are a loser, a winner. It does not know your perspective on price. It does not know what you consider a good trade, bad trade, anything. The market simply represents data, and it is reflecting that on a chart. And that is it. That's it. You need to come into the day with the mindset of, I am going to make myself available to the market and its setups, and I'm going to execute without fear, greed, anxiety, and stress. And when you fully accept the risk of the game that we are playing, there's nothing to fear. You already know how much you could possibly lose. You already know what you're looking for. You already know what you consider to be an A+ setup. So wait. When it presents itself, execute. That's it. That is all trading is. It's through our technical analysis of whatever model you trade, we are seeing things and patterns represent themselves on a chart, and we are executing on it. And the reason why so many people fail at it is they allow their emotional glasses, I call them, right? You put glasses on every day as a human being that's going to distort your reality and see things that are not there. And we have to understand as traders that we have to take these off. That the market does not operate off the same social standards that life does. It just doesn't. It does not care what you have going on. It does not care what you want from it. The very sole goal of the market is not only to put money in the markets, but to extract money from it. And whatever side you're on of that, it does not care. That is why you have to align yourself with the way of thinking, the attitude, and the perspective of a winner. And you are going to continue to lose until you do so. It is simply a choice. A choice that you wake up and say, regardless win or lose, I'm going to execute my process and I'm going to do anything necessary for me to win. And that in itself is alignment. You are aligning yourself with that trader you want to be. You are aligning yourself with being whatever values that you consider you want. It's all alignment. And not until the very moment you accept that and you understand what you want, what your values are, what your goals are coming into it, you're not going to be able to discern what you want to align yourself to. And the moment you do that, the moment you wake up every day and you go into a trade, you do not have preconceived notions, you do not think or try to predict price, and let it happen, let your statistics and probability play out. It is only then that you will let go from the result and you will see the results you want. It's detachment. Aligning yourself with your goals, your ambitions, to detach from the result and therefore extract what you want. Once again, I am 2 days away from a payout. First ever payout, by the way. It's only been a month, and I've seen the most progress I've ever seen. And the only shift it took was to align with what I wanted, to align myself with my values, Lord, anything that I deem as valuable to my life. And all of a sudden, things just start happening. All of a sudden, it's not difficult to pass an evaluation. When my very first evaluation, I took 3 months to pass it. All of a sudden, it's not difficult to wake up one day and trade for 30 minutes and take a winner and then get off the charts. It's not difficult, right? Trading inherently is a difficult game. But the very reason why it is because we have psychological battles that we have to face as each individual trader that nobody's going to know about, nobody's going to understand, but you. Align yourself with what you want, and you will get the very thing you desire. And that's my thought for today. I hope next week I'm able to post a recap of how I got my first payout, of how everything happened. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So God bless y'all. I hope everyone has an amazing week. I hope everybody's taking today to relax, take care of yourself, to grow. And I hope y'all have a good one. Peace out.